Yeah, we going. What's up, Hassan?
Oh, I'm excited.
Excited? How'd you enjoy Cool Runnings, man?
A good time. It's a good time. You know what? I've always meant to watch it earlier too, and I just never got around to it. And then I was like, okay, well, this is a reason to. And I was like, I like sports movies, so I don't know why I didn't catch this one. I like Disney. I didn't know it was Disney. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
You
it
just
is a
didn't
Dis-
mention
I
that.
didn't mention that it's a Disney movie.
And there's no reason for me to believe that Disney made a movie about a Jamaican bobsled team.
Well, but I mean, they did make Princess and the Frog. That's the closest thing they've
That's
made
the
since.
closest, yeah, but that was animated. I thought,
Plot line was still the same.
about the same, was it? I've never seen Princess and the Frog, but
We'll do that later.
she joins the bobsled team. Is that what happens? Man. It was Dougie Doug killed it.
Dougie Doug. You
Dougie Doug.
smashed, dog.
Yeah, this is my favorite name of everyone working in the movie.
Let's start there.
Yeah, let's start there. Doug killing it. And then he was just funny.
He was.
It was funny, good timing, all of that. Main character, I thought all the actors were pretty good. They were very Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
heavy on the accents. Also, I looked this up. Yul Brynner.
Yul Brynner.
Remember how we were like, that's a real guy, right?
Yul Brynner. Yeah.
Totally a real guy. I looked him up. I had to look him up. He played the king in The King and I. Like the original version, like the one on stage, and then he won an Oscar for it when they made it into a movie.
He's an Oscar winner?
He's an Oscar winner. He played the Pharaoh in the Moses movie with Charlton Heston.
Wow. Very impressive.
Right? And he was part of a Jamaican bobsled team.
Dude, what a career.
Yeah, Yul Brynner really did it all. He reversed Michael Jackson did. You know?
What? Okay, so what did I hit? What did I not hit? What did I get?
I mean, it was pretty. You were pretty on the nose. It's not a lot of things that are that crazy happen in it. So the stuff you described was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
You did miss what I like that you missed is you missed like the intense Coca-Cola product placement that was everywhere in the movie.
I did not see that.
That was everywhere in the movie. The original Jamaican run or whatever, the Jamaican trials
Yeah.
at the beginning. That's sponsored by Coke. There's like a big banner that said sponsored. Like because it's made to look like
Jamaica.
third worldy. You know what I
they
mean?
did it on
Like
purpose.
poor and
They
third
made
worldy.
it look like Jamaica has
no anything.
roads.
Yeah.
Like,
There wasn't a paved road in the entire
he was
Jamaican part
running-
of the film.
Like, and like also like they were doing the Olympic trial track meet and they were running on like some dirt track. It wasn't even a full track. It was just the 100-meter part. And it's like, yo, this is the Jamaican bobsled team, the Jamaican track team in the 90s.
The best track team in the world, probably still.
And I'm sure then they were at least great,
Yeah.
pretty good,
Yeah.
sure great. Yeah, I bet they had a
Like a-
couple of facilities.
Like at least what a high school has. At least what a high school has. Yeah. So it's like this like banner that's made to look third worldy and gross. That's the only way I can describe it. That's the only way I can describe it. They just made it kind of look gross, but then with this nice ass sponsored by Coca-Cola logo.
Yeah.
Clear as day. Yeah. In the scene where they find out where they name the sled and then they find out they get disqualified.
Yes.
They're drinking Cokes. They're all drinking Cokes and they keep
Toasting.
toasting
You're
the
right.
Cokes.
I forgot. I didn't notice they were. I never noticed that.
Yeah, that was just something interesting. I know. It's like, wow, they get you.
Yeah.
They get you because if you watch Cool Running, there's definitely a part of you like, I want a Coke. I don't know why, but I want a Coke.
Yeah, you do want a Coke.
Yeah.
You do. That's a great point. Watching the movie, it makes you think of the Uno cards with the polar bears on the back.
Yeah, because it's ice.
Yeah.
It's perfect product placement.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect product placement. I cried at the end.
Well, of course, it's not a movie. It's not a movie. If you didn't cry, if you didn't cry at the end, then I know it wasn't a good fucking movie.
Did I cry? I don't think I cried during Kill Bill.
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Paul
I
Blart.
guess I cry during black movies. That's how you know it's a good black movie, if I cry during it. I cried during Roots, didn't cry during Roots 2. So that
Ooh.
should
Well, yeah, they went a different way.
yeah. Oh God, they made Chicken George so lame. Anyways, yeah. I felt it. I felt the emotion. of them
when they were
crossing.
carrying the
Yeah, they did it. They won. The slow clap was great.
the German slow clap.
The German slow clap was great. It was great. What were they even thinking picking a fight with them at a bar?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know how it's gonna. They're way bigger than you.
Hey, Jamaica.
Yeah, and you come from this like futuristic place with like roads. These people come from the dirt. They're fighting against.
Wait, did you say this futuristic place with roads?
Compared to what they showed Jamaica as.
Yeah, they did show.
They had, you know what I mean? They made Jamaica look extra poor.
Yeah, well, how were they like? They were like practicing bobsled. But you know what? I gotta look up the real story. Maybe they were practicing down a hill on a go kart.
They had to.
They had to have been.
They had to.
I want to believe that the hill was nicer than that.
Yeah, I want to believe that.
That it was like a nice hill.
Like that the tracks didn't have rocks you had to avoid while you were running. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't fucking potholes on the ground. Like
I want to believe that, but I could be wrong.
The weird like there's that weird what's that cart? The push cart?
Yeah, push cart.
What the fuck is happening?
Push cart derby.
Yeah.
It's a push cart derby.
You just sort of accept that he's the best push cart people.
7-time world champ.
Yeah, of push cart or whatever. But they should really explain what the fuck is happening. Why is there a kid strapped to the hood?
There's no reason. Yo, there's absolutely no need for the kid on the hood. There's no need for the kid.
There's just a kid strapped to the hood. It's not like he's like punching other kids on other hoods. You know what I mean? Like Mario Karting for position. He's just there on the hood. Holding on. And they're going.
For dear life.
Yeah.
For dear life. Oh, it's funny.
Oh, God. It's almost like that's how they weight it. They get
Yeah.
the heavier kid on the hood. You can go faster.
Did you relate to the junior character?
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit. To me, he was like a little bit of a pushover, a little bit of a bitch,
Yeah,
a little bit.
too much.
Yeah, just like, oh, I gotta go now. But by the time I was in Jamaica, and my dad was like, you should come back, I would have been like, no, I'm in Jamaica already.
I'm already in the Olympics, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's the difference between the junior character was once I started following my dreams, there was no way they could say anything to get me back.
Yeah.
Whereas he was like struggling with it.
Still.
Yeah.
So all the way to the end.
Oh yeah. Fucking be yourself, Junior.
Well, he eventually
You're
did.
not your dad.
And started stand-up, I heard.
Yeah.
From what you eventually...
Yeah, I looked it up. Junior, I forgot his name. I have it written down. Give me a second. It's Raul D.
Raul D.
Raul D.
Shout out.
Yeah, is a stand-up in the LA scene, and we have been orbiting around each other. We like he's on shows with people we know. He's on shows we've been on.
How have we never seen him?
He used to, at the very least, I don't know if he still does, have the same college agent I had. Yeah, he was.
You could have been in Cool Running.
I could have been. Yeah, I could have been. It could have been me. He does talk about it on stage, obviously. He has to.
Well, don't. Hey, come on. Raul D.
Do what you gotta do, Raul.
Come to Potluck.
Yeah, we'll get you up. We'll get you up on a Monday.
Comedy Store, 6 p.m. You gotta sign up.
I mean, yeah, sign-ups end at 6:20. It's like sharp.
Yeah.
He has to have been by the Comedy Store at some point.
Yeah, he's a comic, right?
Yeah.
He was in a huge movie.
Yeah, we've seen this guy. There's no way we've not been in a room with this guy.
I mean, he's in a classic. It's an absolute classic.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I have for this. Oh no, I don't.
What?
I have one thing you forgot, or a couple things that you forgot. Or the big thing was you told me during the movie, that this is a small detail, that when they're practicing on ice afterwards, like the Calgary Flames get on or the NHL team gets on the ice to take practice, and that's not an NHL team. That is the Soviet Russia hockey team.
Why are they there?
It's the Olympics. What do you mean? Why are they there?
Oh. In my head, it was just it was whoever was there.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because that's a choice that Disney made. Because this movie came out in like '85.
Yeah.
So this is Cold War at its
This
like.
movie didn't come out in 85.
Did it not come out in '85?
It came out in the 90s.
Oh, it did come out in the '90s? It takes place in like the '80s. That makes sense. Either way, they put in the Soviets for a reason.
Because of the Cold War.
Yeah, I guess they show that it was the Cold War.
So to
remind you that. Because because the Soviet team, the jersey says CCCP, which is like the Soviet Russian way of saying Soviet Russia.
Oh.
Yeah. Weird people. But no. Yeah, I can see why you thought that was Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what I thought was interesting, I guess I don't know if it was like a writing choice or like something that didn't come through in the acting, because I was thinking about this. At the end, John Candy has the part in the film where he's like, you'll find out, is winning the gold medal everything? Because are you enough without the gold medal?
Yeah.
Because if you're not enough without it, you won't be enough with it, right? That was a good scene, and it's all about how like, winning isn't everything. It's all about like being your own man or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like throughout the movie, I didn't feel like the main character. I didn't feel like Derice. Derice was just like a happy-go-lucky guy. I'm gonna try to do this thing, I'm gonna try to win a little bit. I see the Swiss, but it wasn't like he was like there was this like intense drive to win.
Yeah, he would do anything.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It's a Disney movie, so it can't go that dark. But I feel like if they had shown a little bit more of a darker side to him, then that line would have hit a little more. Because it came out of nowhere. It is a little bit like, I don't think Derice needs a life lesson here.
Well, I mean, the life lesson was to stop trying to be so fucking Swiss.
Right.
That was like, at the end of the day, like that's what was holding them back from being the best bobsled team.
And in the world, they had it.
They had it. They were that close.
They had it, and they were that close. But yeah, that is one thing I was like, because then afterwards I looked it up just to see what the critics gave it, because I enjoyed it. So I was like, I wonder what
it's a good movie.
Yeah, they gave it a 75%.
Rotten Tomatoes and stuff?
Yeah. So good movie. But I was like, I bet you if they had just that little bit of like a
more edge
to it, it would have been a little higher.
But yeah, I like that they went comedy.
Yeah,
they went pure.
They were
They were like, we're gonna go for jokes.
Yeah. My favorite joke was the one when they get to the airport and
stop at the terminal, like
and Sanka has to put on everything.
Yeah, he puts on his suitcase.
Yeah,
That's really good.
That's my favorite joke.
That's a good joke.
Oh no, and then another joke.
I like when he peels off his dread. That was when his dread breaks.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
That's really funny. I've never seen that before.
No,
I was like,
funny.
how have I never seen that before?
Usually people don't freeze their dreads.
You know what? Usually in movies, you don't see Jamaicans near ice.
Yep.
Huh. Anyways. This is my favorite joke that you didn't mention. They're driving to see John Candy for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's a shot of them driving and Sanka and Derice talking, and Sanka goes, okay, we're off and we're, I'm not going to do this accent. I can't.
Do the accent.
No.
Come on, man. Do it.
He goes, we're off and we're going to do.
Do the accent. You're already trying to.
I can't do the accent. Now that I started, I can't. It's too much. It's too embarrassing. But, Sanka goes, we're off to see the Bill sled. And then Derice goes, you mean bobsled? And Sanka goes, oh, whoever. Good joke.
It is a good joke.
Good joke.
Sanka, but Dougie Doug, way to kill it, buddy.
Yeah, man, you really did it. Cool runnings.
Cool runnings.
Cool runnings.
Good movie.
Good. I enjoyed it.
Yo, EA Sports.
We back.
We back, baby. What's popping?
Oh, nothing much, really. I'm excited for this movie, though.
Dude, Men in Black, one of the best movies ever.
That I've never seen.
You're about to see it right now, and it's one of the best movies ever.
What kind of?
Oh. What? Hassan Ahmad, Men in Black, classic, one of the most classic sci-fi movies of all time.
Right. I mean, how classic could it be? I've never seen it.
Exactly. What? You also didn't see Titanic, and how classic was that? Not that classic. What? Very big classic. Do you think Men in Black is about?
Man. I mean, it's about aliens. I know that. I remember I watched the cartoon as a kid. Did you ever watch the cartoon?
I never knew there was a cartoon.
There was a cartoon. It was on for a little bit. It was kind of dark. Like, in terms of, like, I don't know.
Black people?
I mean, no. I mean, there's black people in it. So, it's a little dark in that sense. But, like, I mean, in terms of, like, animation style. It was animated. And it was, like, gritty. It's sort of like the Batman animated series. How that was, like, a little gritty.
Oh, like that. Okay, I know what kind of cartoon. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. From what I remember, it was just kind of dark, weird animation. I remember there was, like, a pug that was involved in that movie a lot.
There's a reason. There's a reason the pug was in that.
Right. I think the pug, is a pug an alien? Pug might be an alien. Alien pug. I think it was an alien pug. I could be wrong. All right. So for the actual movie, though.
Yeah. What do you think Men in Black in the movie?
So I've seen one scene in Men in Black. I don't know how I've seen it. I don't know where I saw it. But that scene where they're like in the training ground for like new recruits to the Men in Black agency or whatever. And there's a scene where he's like shooting at all these monsters, or everyone's shooting at all these monsters, but Will Smith is the only one that shoots the little white girl. Yeah, and he ends up being right. Shoot the white girl or whatever.
He ends up being right.
Yeah, he ends up shooting the right thing, right? Because like all the other monsters are like working out or whatever.
Yeah.
And they just look like monsters. But this is like a small little child with like a psychology textbook walking through the hood or some shit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny that you remember little parts of that.
Yeah.
So what do you think happens?
Well, no, the reason why I bring that up is because I am basing everything then off this scene.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. So from what I remember, Will Smith killed it in the training, so he's probably some kind of cop. If I had to guess, he's probably a rookie cop because then it's the rookie cop, veteran cop interplay that you have for the entire film, you know? So Tommy Lee Jones is the veteran grizzled cop who doesn't got time for the new blood.
Okay.
Yeah. But so he's a cop. The reason how he ends up in the training area or facility or whatever was he probably took down an alien of some kind, unbeknownst to him. They thought it was like a drug dealer or some shit, and ended up being an alien. And so they team up, and then he passes the test, and then Men in Black. He's a Man in Black.
The movie ends.
Yeah, and then everyone just went home and been like, that was cool. There's probably some like weird paranormal shit happening or weird alien type stuff happening.
Yeah.
I guess aliens are paranormal. Weird alien stuff happening. And they're like, this is a lot. Because I remember something. The word smuggler comes to my head when I think of this movie. So someone's smuggling something. Maybe there's
a smuggler in it.
Yeah, maybe he's smuggling aliens into the city, like all the men. Because like the pug, I think, is an alien, and so they know all the aliens. They're friendly with them. They talk to them sometimes. There's like ally aliens.
Okay.
Right? So they have a gauge on like, okay, we have a lot of aliens here, and then all of a sudden there's this influx of like bad aliens, untagged or whatever, or untracked, and they gotta go find the person who's doing it. And the main bad guy is some random dude that you've no idea is an alien. And then when he turns into an alien, you're like, oh, what? He was an alien an entire time.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, I'm smuggling in shit to destroy the
earth. He's smuggling shit to destroy Earth?
Or to destroy New York. Or to take over New York. Or to take over the humans of New York.
Okay.
And then it's up to Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones to stop him. And then they do in a big fight. And then everyone's happy. And then people start cheering. And they make everyone who saw everything forget. So they're kind of, back to where they started at the end of it. But Will Smith is cooler now. He probably gets the girl. And that's Men in Black.
Dude, every time I wish that was the movie. Every time we've done this, I wish your explanation was the movie. And I'm going to say that every time. I'm going to say that every podcast.
I'm pretty sure. I'm excited to see the one thing I got right. There's always one thing I get right. In all of that,
I'll tell you this much.
Mm-hmm.
The scene you saw, you got pretty wrong.
Did I?
No, you got it right.
Okay.
That's the one that you got right.
Yeah, because I'm living my life based on this scene as it is. So if I got it that wrong, I'd be like, well, I got to rethink a lot of what I remember.
Men in Black starts.
Okay.
Night.
Mm-hmm.
Exterior, it starts night like with a big ass bug, bro. Like just flying, like a dragonfly, like a regular bug, like flying through traffic, just weaving through traffic as the credits roll.
Oh damn!
Right, for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's for like a little bit, like how movies used to start. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is going, he's just weaving through traffic, it's a big bug, and then finally, splat, hits a car windshield, right? Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, "Goddamn bugs!" Right? This is the first line of the movie.
Yeah.
Goddamn bugs. And then they pan the camera back, and you see like a bunch of Mexicans in the back. So I guess you were right. There was a form of smuggling. Not really. There's a bunch of Mexicans in the back of this truck. Okay, they let you know that for sure. They're all like They let you know that these are like really Mexican people.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Is this an illegal immigrant type situation?
Very illegal immigrant situation.
Okay.
Extremely illegal immigrant situation.
So at least I got the smuggling a little bit right.
The guy keeps driving. He hits Border Patrol.
Oh.
All right. So the Border Patrol pulls him over, and they're like, "Hey, what you got in the truck?" And he's like trying to like, "Oh, some workers or something." You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they're like, get everybody out of the
Some workers? He told the Border Patrol he had people in the back?
I don't remember exactly that line, but he says something where he's like, "Get the fuck out the car."
Yeah. What?
You know what I mean? Because also they weren't hidden; they were just all in the back.
Right. So he's a terrible smuggler.
So they got them all lined up, and then they're telling them like all how he's like, "Oh, I'm sending you guys all back to Mexico. They're all going back to jail." And then right then, a black car pulls up real fast, and 2 white guys get out.
Ooh.
One of them's Tommy Lee Jones, and another old white man. I don't know the other old white guy.
Oh man,
2 old white guys.
Sounds like they need some Will Smith to liven it up.
Not yet. Almost. So he walks up and he's all cool, Tommy Lee Jones,
right?
And Dean goes, "Who you got your he goes, "Who you got your money on, Dean?" And he's looking at all the Mexicans, and then of course the state trooper's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "We're with Sector 7." And the guy's like, "Oh." I like it when people do that. And he's like, because he also walked up and he goes, "We'll take it from here." I like when people say that line.
Yeah,
we'll take it from here. And he's like, "Who are you?" "From Sector 7." And they're like, "Oh, Sector 7. Oh my god." Sector 7.
So Sector 7 is big in this world.
It's big. We believe it.
Right.
If somebody says Sector 7, you're like, oh shit.
Back off.
That guy's a Sector 7 guy.
Yeah.
He's
not one of these Sector 6 pussies.
Well, no, nobody gives a fuck about Sector 6.
God, lame.
Yeah, so he, Tommy Lee Jones, he's like, "Who you got your money on, Dean?" And Dean's like, "I don't know, Tommy." And he starts going down the line of the Mexican guys, like speaking Spanish to him. Mm-hmm. And they're all kind of like clearly like understanding him. And then he gets to one who's just kind of looking at him with a blank face. And then he keeps talking Spanish to him. And the guy keeps like smiling and nodding, and then he like calls him ugly in Spanish and like laughing, and he's like, "You don't understand a word coming out of my mouth." And he says that like in Spanish, like, right. "Que paso es que no le bien es leche, es leche, es que Cuba de macho," and then the guy's just like laughing, like, "Well, this is Spanish," So the Tommy Lee Jones is like, "All right, everybody else back on the truck, go be illegal Mexicans in America," and then the cop's like, "Hey, you can't do that." And he's like, "You shut up, kid. Yeah. I'm Sector 7. Yeah, like that. So they take the alien off.
Oh, your Mexican was amazing. Your Spanish,
good. Really. My Spanish is pretty good. I'm pretty good Jamaican. My German's very Jamaican, but it's pretty good.
It's
my German's are really good Jamaican.
Oh, good Lord. If anyone can get a translation on what Derek actually said there, I would love that. I'm pretty sure you mentioned milk a lot.
I definitely mentioned milk. So he tells everyone else to go back in the car, and the troopers are pissed, right? And so he's talking to the Mexican dude, and he slices him open, and it's like a huge alien, like with like 8 arms.
Oh, just like
a big alien,
like comically big.
Well, not, but bigger than the body. And then he's like holding a Mexican head, like a severed Mexican head.
Oh, Jesus!
You know what I mean? That's what it was.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Mikey, when they let you out of jail," and he's like, and he's like, "Okay," and so they're talking for a minute, and he's telling him like, "Mikey, you're going back to jail, put your hands on your head," and he puts his hands up and like, "Oh, I'm caught," right? And then one of the state troopers like crawls back over to see what's going on, and then the alien's like, it's a really cool shot. The alien's like the alien's facing this way, but his eye fucking like flips back like that.
Yeah.
And he sees it, and then the K's like, "Get out of here!" And then the alien like rah, like his teeth go crazy, and he goes crazy, and he knocks K and the other old dude down, and he starts sprinting at the trooper, and the trooper's frozen, and then K's like, "Shoot him!" And then the old Dean guy's like frozen, and he's like, "Dean, shoot him! And then Dean guy's like trying to hold his gun, and he can't get his gun, and then finally like the last second K like shoots him, like right there, and the alien like explodes all over the guy, like in blue goo. Right? And the dude's like sitting there, and he's like, that was a, and then he was like, "Alien?" He's like, Tommy Lee Jones like, "Yeah, I know." Just like that. Like, "Yeah, I was an alien." Pretty much like, I didn't get my wife. I know.
Yeah.
Same kind of vibe.
Right.
So he's like telling him what he just saw, right? And then a bunch of the other troopers like come running over the hill, and they're like, "Hey, what was going on?" And then he tells them all like, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what it was, but first I need you to look at this. And he pulls out the neuralizer.
Oh, that's what's called the neuralizer.
It's called a neuralizer.
Yeah.
And it's dope, see, because he explains like, this is a neuralizer. it erases memories from this, and like he explains exactly what it is, and they're all looking at it. You know what I mean? And then he goes, and I am just a figment of your imagination. And then he hits the button, flashes, and then like it like sits there for a second, and then he starts yelling at them. And he's like, "You guys are lucky to be alive after a blast like that." And then they're like, "What?" He's like, "The pipeline." And then the guy covered in the goo, and he's like, "And you shot it. You got to be more careful with your firearms." And
That's
he's like,
funny.
and everybody starts looking at him like they're pissed.
Wait, what did he shoot? What did he say he shoot?
He shot like a pipeline, and that's
A
why
pipeline.
he's all covered in goo.
Okay.
And then like during that, like while he like a Men in Black team came, and they're like just burning the area.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they
destroying
just burning like the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the troopers walk off, and they're just they don't know what's going on.
Right.
And then Kay walks in, he sits down next to the old Dean guy, and the Dean guy's like looking at the stars and shit. And then he's like, "They're beautiful, aren't they?" And then Kay's like, "What?" And then Kay starts kind of talking like, "Hey, it's okay to hesitate. Happens all the time." And he's like, "The stars, he's like, I don't look at them anymore, but they're beautiful." And then Kay kind of looks at him, and he realizes what's going on. He just realizes it's over, and he goes, he says,
once you start looking at the stars.
Yeah, once you start looking at the
stars,
you're
thinking about shit. You're thinking about shit that like changes your life.
He says, Kay, he said, I will say I will miss the chase. And then Tommy Lee Jones looks at him and goes, "No, Dean, you won't." And then he neuralizes him.
Oh,
Flash.
shit.
Cut to Will Smith is chasing a motherfucking down the street.
They gotta neuralize their own partners?
Yeah, dude.
Man.
It's a good scene. It's a really good shot.
That's
and how it happens too, because they don't talk about it. He's looking at the star. He just like, he knows it's like, he's done. It's that kind of job.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Man, at the very least, you think you'd be able to take your cool alien war stories home with you?
It's that kind of job.
I feel bad for Dean now.
Well, I mean, you lived a cool life.
But he doesn't know.
You never know. You don't know.
That's some weird, fucked up moral issue. Or like just an issue that they just don't bring up again in the movie, do they?
No.
Okay. He just murdered a being or wiped out his partner's memory. But next scene.
So, Will Smith chasing a guy down the street. We see Will Smith finally in the scene. He's also not wearing cop clothes. He's wearing like baggy orange jump pants.
So he's a cop.
He's a cop, but he's wearing and he's like, "Freeze, NYPD." He's like, "Freeze," and he's chasing a dude all through the city, and he jumps off like a bridge onto a bus, and then like he lands on the bus, and it's a bunch of tourists, and he's like, "It just be raining black people in New York." Great line.
Good line. That's how you scare Chinese people.
Oh yeah, he jumps off the bus, and then he finally catches up to the dude, and like he knocks him into the wall, and he gets him up on the wall, and he goes, "NYPD means I will knock your punk ass down." Good line. Great line. NYPD means I will knock your punk ass down.
Knock starts with a K, but whatever.
You know what I
mean.
Yeah. It fit.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that, Will Smith. I'll give you that.
So the alien then like pulls out like this alien gun on Will Smith,
right?
And then Will Smith like knocks it out of his hand, and it like just disintegrates. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "What the fuck?" You can just see like, "Whoa!" And then like he gets the guy again, and the guy does like a cool backflip off a wall to get off of him. And then Will like slowly pulls his gun out and like still keeps chasing him. I don't know why, but he's obviously now like, "Oh, okay, this is not normal."
Yeah, right.
And then like he follows the alien to a building or the guy to a building, and then this motherfucking thing jumps like floors, like 5 floors up.
Okay.
So now it's like, oh, this is an alien. This is not, or something. It's not a human now.
Right.
And he shoots the glass down. It's also a famous building in New York, whatever it is. I don't know what the building is.
Okay. I'll probably recognize it.
It's like an art, and it's like, so he's running.
It's a spirally thing?
Yes.
The Guggenheim.
The Guggenheim. This nigga is running through the circle of the Guggenheim. Mm-hmm. The other dude, the motherfucking alien is now on the top of the roof, like running around trying to find a door. Mm-hmm. As Will Smith is circling the Guggenheim, running all the way to the top. Mm-hmm. Finally, an alien opens the door, and Will Smith's waiting there with the gun. He's like, "What's up?" Like real casual.
Ooh, good line.
Right? And then the alien's like, "You don't understand. He's coming." And then then Will Smith's like, "All right," and I'll arrest his ass when he gets here too. And then the alien, he's like, "You don't understand." And then he blinks like this, like his eyes blink like that way. And then Will Smith's like, "Oh shit. What the hell are you?" And the guy goes like, "Your world's gonna end." And then he's like, "All right, man, stop all that." And then he starts like walking to the edge, like he's about to commit suicide, and he's smiling. And then Will Smith's like, "Hey, come on, man, I'll take you to the eye doctor. We'll get those things fixed. Come on, man." And then he kills himself, right? The guy just jumps and he commits suicide.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a good movie.
Is that your mark for a good movie? It's a pretty low bar.
So the next scene is you see like a truck. And the shot is like of a truck and like a barn, like an old school truck and like a barn.
In a barn.
No, a truck outside.
Okay.
A barn. This is the shot. That's what you see.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? and you hear like the voiceover, like from a distance, you see something kind of like flying towards it in space. But the voiceover, all you hear is a dude talking shit to his wife. Like cash money shit.
Oh, really?
Like every day I come home and I got to deal with this bullshit. Look at this food. It looks like poison. Probably is poison in it. Don't take that away from me. I'm eating that, goddammit. It's so many funny lines like that. And he's like, only thing that pulls his weight around here is my goddamn truck. And right when he says that, motherfucking boom, like the spaceship crashes into his truck outside, right?
Ooh.
So he goes outside and it's Vincent D'Onofrio. Vincent D'Onofrio is the villain in this movie.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yo, what are you telling me? This is where the Marvel Universe starts? This is Kingpin?
It starts with this.
It starts with this. This is how we get. Okay. That makes sense. What?
Interesting thing about Men in Black, this did used to be a Marvel comic.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So I was right.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Vincent D'Onofrio's in here.
Vincent D'Onofrio's the villain in this. He's amazing. So he has like a shotgun and he starts walking out. And then the wife comes out, and you'll recognize the wife too. I forgot who she is, but she's a white lady. You'll recognize her. And she goes, Edgar. His name's Edgar. She goes, Edgar, what is it, Edgar? And he goes, it's so funny. He just turns around and he goes, hey, get your big butt back in the house.
Nice, yo.
And it's like a zoom in on his face.
Just grade A.
Grade A. Funny.
Straight misogyny. I love it.
That's comedy. That's what I call it. So he walks up to like, you know, the Vincent D'Onofrio character, he walks up to like the thing, and then you hear like a voice go, you know, drop your weapon, like that. And he goes, if you want this weapon, you can pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
Oh, God.
And then, and he's like, your offer is accepted. And you see a fucking hand, like, just like grab this nigga and like bring him down. And then you hear like, you hear that? And then you see his skin just like flap, like on the top of the, like, circle part. You know what I mean? Like, and then it gets sucked back down, and then you see a motherfucking thing like slowly stand up, and it's like something in. It's like Vincent D'Onofrio, like in like it's something in like an Edgar suit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Clearly, the alien put him on, and then like
Right.
now it's just like Vincent D'Onofrio making a really funny face.
Right.
The rest of the movie,
Right, because he's dead.
He's dead, and now an alien is in his like a humongous alien is in this like human little body,
and so he's just trying to mimic what a human is.
So he walks back in the house,
That's comedy,
and his
man.
wife's kind of looking at him, and she's like, Edgar, you know, what was that? Are you okay? And he's like, water, sugar. And then she's like, what? Yeah, he knows what's up. And she's like, sugar? What do you want? He's like, sugar? And he goes, and she grabs some sugar, and he goes, water. And then she's like, okay. And she grabs some water, and then she puts some of the sugar in the water. He's like, more. And she's like, okay. And she puts some more, and he's like, more. And then it's like, she just like dumps the whole thing in there. And then he drinks that motherfucking shit. Like, and he's like, ah. And then she goes, Edgar, your skin's hanging off your face. And he looks in the mirror and he's like, oh. And he grabs the back of his nigga's head and he pulls his skin back and it's just like a complete stretch face. And he's like, that better. And then she passes out. It's like a crazy scene, Doc.
Yo, the psychological like torture that these people are going through in this film is nuts.
Yo, it's
that's crazy. That's on the par of wiping your partner's memory away.
It's pretty crazy.
In terms of shit you could do to someone. What? All right.
So she faints, and then it shows him going outside, and then he rolls like his spaceship out of the hill, out of the crash thing, and then he puts it like he rolls it out of the hill and just like tries to put it like just off to the side, right? You see him just like pulling it off to the side. So next shot is Will, and he's talking to his captain, and he's telling him he's telling him about the chase. He's like, I chased him, and the captain's like, so he's like, and that's when the fugitive, you say, blinked his eyelids, and Will goes, no, he blinked a separate set of eyelids, and then blinked a regular set of eyelids, and then there's like other cops behind him, and they're like laughing, like fucking idiot, you know. And then the captain goes, is this before or after he pulled out an alien gun that disintegrated? And he was like, this is after, sir. And then the other cops go like, yeah, bullshit, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then he's looking at him like fucking ass, you know what I mean? And then he goes, how come? And he's like, how come none of your partners were there to see this? And he goes, and all the other cops were like fat. And he goes, well, officer, Captain, a lot of the other officers are a little pudgy, a little soggy in the midsection. And then one of the cops goes, Edwards, you wish you were half the man I am. And he goes, I am half the man you are.
Ooh, good joke.
It's really good.
Good joke.
And then he goes, you want to go, you want to go 10 minutes, tough guy. Take your best shot. Let's go 10 minutes. And he goes, why don't you go 10 minutes on the Stairmaster, you punching bastard? He goes like so. And then the other guy leaves, right?
Yeah.
So as they're leaving, you see a pretty girl. She walks up to Will. She whispers in his ear, "I believe you. I think you know what you're talking about." And she gives him like her card for a morgue, and she come visit me at my morgue. And then he goes, "What?" And she walks out. And then as she walks out, she bumps into Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee goes, "Hey, are you Dr. Laurel something?" And she goes, "Yes." And he goes, "Can you look at this, please?" And she goes, "Yeah." Zoom, and fucking neuralizes her ass. And then he walks in the office,
shit.
and he closes the door, and then he goes up right to a camera, and he unplugs it, and then he looks at Will, and he goes, "They were gills." And then Will's looking at him, and he goes, "Gills." He was trying to breathe. They weren't eyelids. And then Will's kind of like, "You know what?" And he goes, "Hey, if you think if you saw that gun again that disintegrated, you'd be able to recognize it?" And then Will was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right, come with me." And then Will's like, "I can't. I got all this paperwork." And then right when he opens the door, the captain's like, "Will, great job on the paperwork." Or Edwards, great job on the paperwork, you know? And he's
Yeah.
like,
Well, as in Will Smith.
He's like, "Will Smith, you did your paperwork."
Yeah. Thank you for taking time out of being a star to do your paperwork.
Finally.
Yeah.
So he
You know what's interesting? Whenever I watch a movie, I never know any of the characters' names. You always just describe them as
I
the
describe
actor
him
that
as
they
the
are.
actor.
I realized I had no idea Will Smith's last name was Edwards. It was just Will Smith. All right.
In this movie, it's Edwards. It's really what it is.
Okay.
It's like James Edwards.
Oh, what? Who gives a shit? So Will Smith does his paperwork.
Does his paperwork.
Yeah.
So they leave, right? And
Yeah.
he takes him to like a pawn shop, right?
Mhm.
And he tells him, Will's like, "Oh, you're not gonna get no alien information from here. This is Jeeves' pawn shop. I know Jeeves. He sells like cheap Rolexes and shit." And then, Tommy's like, "No, Tommy, his name's K. He's like, I know it. This is the place." And then Will's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna put my thing down. And then when I come back out, I want real answers." And then Tommy Lee Jones is like, "All right, go put your thing down." Right?
Mhm.
So Will Smith, he walks in, and it's, I'm pretty sure the dude at the cashier is the guy from Monk.
Tony Shalhoub?
Pretty sure.
Ooh.
Pretty sure it's Monk.
Ooh.
His name's Jeeves. And he goes in,
I like Monk.
and and he's like, hey, what's up, Jeeves? He's like, I heard you, been selling something a little hotter than Rolexes. And the Jeeves character's like, "What are you talking about? I don't sell anything." You're like, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And then finally the K character walks in and he just pulls a gun on him immediately. He's like, "Hey, Jeeves, show us some merchandise." And then Jeeves is like, "Hey, what's up, K?" And then Will Smith's like, "Hey, he's gonna really shoot you." Like he's talking to him like he's like, "That he's crazy. He's gonna shoot you." He's like, "Jeeves, I'll get you to the count of 3. I'm gonna blow your head off." And then Jeeves is like, "Gosh, why don't you take a pill?" He starts relaxing. He goes 3, 2, and then Will's like, "I'm telling you, he's gonna shoot you." And he goes 1, and then he shoots that nigga in the head and he blows his motherfucking head off. You know what I mean? And then Will immediately pulls his gun on Tommy Lee Jones. He's like, "Yo, put your gun down, NYPD." And he's like, "I told him I was gonna shoot him." And he goes, "Put your gun right down." He's like, "You told him I was gonna shoot him."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "God." And then the Jeeves character goes, "Don't you know how much that stings?" And his motherfucking head starts growing back, dog. And he's like, "Ah." And he's like, "Jeeves, you got to tell me right now. You better show me the merchandise right now. I'm going to shoot you where it don't grow back." And then the Will Smith character's just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm so happy right now.
And then the monk dude, he like reaches behind the desk and he hits a button and like all the walls flip over and like all these cool alien guns like flip over. You know what I mean? And then he like, he's like, "All right," tells Will Smith like, go try and find it." And then like Will's like, "All right." And he's looking for it. And then he finds it and he points at it. And then Tommy Lee Jones gets real mad at the Jeeves character. And he's like, "You sold a
whatever.
some deterializer to a cephalopod, Jeeves, you piece of shit."
All right, now say it in Spanish.
Esta banda está mucha de seca. Esta banda está mucha. Esta muca está So he's mad. So he's mad. He's going off.
Right.
And then the Jeeves character's like, "Oh, I thought he was okay guy to me." And he goes, "Jeeves, I want in the next morning, I want you off off this rock and onto the next planet." And then like Jeeves like puts his head down, and then Will Smith and then like Tommy Lee Jones walks out all mad, and then Will Smith goes, "And when I come back, I'm gonna talk to you about these Rolexes." Like he walks out.
Yeah, he has to be a part
Bro,
of it.
he's so good at one of those lines though. Since
those,
Fresh
like-
Prince is those walk out the door lines, dude.
Yeah.
He has been amazing at those.
You know what?
It's a really good
That's
skill.
That's a good, yeah. You got to close the scene somehow. That's a great way to close it.
It really is. So he steps outside. Will steps outside. He's freaked out. And Kay tells him, like, "Don't worry about any of this, man. You're not going to remember any of it tomorrow." And he goes, "How am I not going to remember this stuff tomorrow?" And then he neuralizes him,
Yeah.
of course. And so it cuts to, and they're at, like, getting dinner. And you see Willie's kind of looking around, not knowing how he's there. And then Tommy Lee Jones is laughing.
Mm-hmm.
He's just already laughing. This is one of my favorite lines in the movie.
Yeah.
And he goes, and the guy goes, "Honey, this one's eating my popcorn." And he like starts busting out laughing. And they cut to Will Smith and he's like, Because he doesn't know what you can tell he's like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
And then Will goes, who are you, man? And he goes, see, that's what I told you, James. You got to lay off the sauce. No more tequila for you. And he's like, but I need you to be here. And he hands him a card, and it's like a business card of like just an address on it, and it says MIB.
Right.
And he's like, be here at 10 a.m. and be here or be square. He says something like that, you know?
Right.
And then he's like, okay. You know?
I love that. For me, if I was like Tommy Lee Jones in this movie, that would probably be my favorite parts. Is the mid-conversation.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh my God, you get to, because they snap too. They don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. So you could I bet you could just improv it too. Just say whatever you want.
Well, yeah, you're pretty much giving them a new memory of like what they think is kind of happening.
Yeah, and you have to come up with a whole backstory. But the thing is, they're so confused. You don't have to be confident, and you just have to be confident, and they'll just have to accept it.
Because they have to accept it.
Yeah, they're just in the middle. Can you imagine just in the middle of nowhere? Like, what's the last thing you remember before the neuralizer? Right, that jump is crazy.
Well, we'll get there.
Okay. Oh shit! All right, I hit on something.
So he neuralizes him, tells him to be at the MIB place headquarters at that time. So they cut to it's back at Edgar's house, and an exterminator shows up. Right. There's a big Zappum truck with a big cockroach on the top.
Right.
And a guy walks through, and there's a bunch of cockroaches in the barn, and he like gets his shit out to kill him. And then the Edgar guy goes, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm here to deal with your infestation problem." And he goes, "I'm here to deal with your infestation problem." He's like, "I'm here to deal with your pest problem." He's like, "You got a hell of an infestation." And then the Vincent D'Onofrio guy goes, "Infestation? Yeah, I've seen an infestation." That's how he talks the whole movie, nigga. It's so ridiculous. I have noticed an infestation. And he's talking about like Earth, and he's like comparing us to like cockroaches and shit. And then he kills the exterminator by like shoving up it's really a gross scene actually. He shoves the gas thing down his throat and cuts it on.
Ooh.
Kills him, yeah.
Ooh.
And, like,
he blows up.
Nothing blow up, just like you see just falls down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so we're the pests.
Yeah. So he takes his Zappum truck, and then he rolls his spaceship into the Zappum truck.
Okay.
And so now he's got this
His
truck.
spaceship fits in a truck.
No. You're going to watch it and go, that doesn't fit, but it does. But when you watch it, just know your first thought's going to be, that doesn't fit. Nope. That's just not how shapes work. You remember that game where you put shapes in it's just like, bro, that square ain't gonna fit into the triangle joint. It's just not. It's just regardless of whether you whether you cut to and it's in there, like you cut to and the square is in the triangle thing. I'm gonna know that you didn't. That's not real.
That's not real. You've cried.
That this is like, oh, it's a.
You've lied. Yeah, you've lied. You definitely lied.
So the ship eventually. No, the ship gets in there.
Okay, but it doesn't get in there.
It does not.
Okay.
It shouldn't be.
Okay, I get it. So they've effectively put the square in the triangle.
Pretty much. So they cut to Will Smith is walking in the MIB building in the morning, and he's like he is a black guy sitting there reading a newspaper, and he's like, "Hey, do you know where?" And the guy just yells, "Elevator!" And Will's like, "Okay." And then he walks to the elevator, and he gets in, and it just starts kind of like flying up, and he's kind of just looking around, and then the door opens behind him, and it's a guy named Zed, like one of the general of Men in Black, like the leader of Men in Black,
right.
And there's a bunch of people in like these weird egg-shaped chairs,
and
they're all like Navy, Marines, you know, NYPD, SWAT team, like all that shit. You know what I mean?
The best of the best.
The best of the best, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a bunch of different people, the Air Force, and then so Will walks in, he's like, "Oh, you're late, Edward, take a seat." And then he takes a seat and he goes, "Gentlemen, you're all here because NYPD, Marines, Air Force, SWAT team, because, we are Men in Black and we are the best program in the world and we need the best of the best of the best. That's what we need here." And then Will Smith, like right after that, he raises his hand, he goes, "Edwards," and he goes, "I'm sorry, you might have already answered this, but I'm just wondering what we're all doing here." And then a guy right next to him raises his hand, and the Zed character points at him, and the guy jumps up and he goes, "Captain James Jensen, first lieutenant, Marine Corps, and you're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir." And he looks at Will Smith like, "Asshole," he sits back down,
you dumb bitch.
And then Will Smith starts laughing, right, like laughing hard, and he goes, "Something funny, Edwards?" And he goes, "Oh, Captain America over here, best of the best, sir, with honors." He's just really excited, and he has no idea why we're here. And so the Zed dude's kind of looking at him, and then he looks at the Tommy Lee Jones character who's watching from a window, and the Tommy Lee Jones character's just like, "I don't know."
This our guy? Yeah.
And he goes, okay. And so he goes, all right, gentlemen, begin. And then they like everybody like else grabs like a stack of papers. You know what I mean? And they all do it, and it's like a test. It's like a test. So they all have stack of paper and pencils. And so and they're all in these weird chairs with no tables in front of them.
Right.
So they all like open the test booklets to start the test. And Will, when he tries to open his pencil breaks immediately. So his pencil breaks in half.
Right.
And so he's already like fucking up.
Yeah.
And it shows everyone else trying to like find a way to write, and no one can do it.
Right.
It's like a whole maybe 2 to 3 minute scene, dog. And it's really funny of everyone trying to write
Figure out
a way to write on their knee, writing on this, like trying to like write on the like, you know what I mean? It's just all these funny things. And finally, like Will Smith, he gets fed up and he drops his thing and he looks in the middle of the room and there's a table. And he gets up, he walks over, and just like the loudest table in the history of movies. And everybody just looks at it, and he drags it all the way up, and and he sits down, he's like smiling, and he looks at everybody, and they're all looking at him. He's like, "Y'all want to get down on this?" So the next scene is the scene you've seen.
Oh, that would be really funny if you
What?
dragged the table and then the guy said it was over. That would have been really funny.
That had to be the test.
Yeah.
Like when you look back at it, it's like that had to be.
Right.
Because it made no sense. There was no way they were going to be able to write. The way the chairs were, it's just like it's set up that they couldn't write.
They can't write, yeah.
So the next scene, like, is the scene you've seen, the whole like the shooting thing.
Yeah.
And so it goes like they're just kind of in like it's like a shooting range / laser tag looking zone. You know what I mean?
I remember like for some reason they're being like the idea of pounding techno.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
It wasn't there, but that's what it looked like. It's like,
okay.
And then they go and it's like, and everybody else starts shooting at the monsters immediately. And then the Will Smith character's just looking like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then finally at the last second, he just shoots.
Mm-hmm.
He just shoots.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Zed guy goes, Edwards, what happened? And he goes, hesitated. And he goes, can you tell me why you thought little Tiffany deserved to die? And he goes, like, bro, it's funny. It's really funny how he does not break. Because he goes, she was the only real threat I saw, sir. And he goes, can you explain? He goes, yeah, well, first I was going to shoot this guy on the street light here. And then I noticed, he's just working out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, how'd I feel? Somebody, came up on the gym, busting my ass when I'm on the treadmill, And then I was going to shoot this, snarling, monster looking guy. And then I saw the tissue in his hand. I was like, oh, he's not snarling. He's sneezing, So I was like, oh, not a real threat. And then I look over and I see little Tiffany, little white girl, middle of the night in the hood, all these monitors carrying quantum physics books. Those books are way too advanced for her, Zed. She's up to something. And I'd honestly appreciate it if you eased up off my back about it. Or do I owe her an apology?
Ooh. Ooh, I like his character.
Yo, he's hilarious.
Crazy funny.
He's crazy funny. So the Zed guy walks out of the room and then all the other guys are looking at him like an idiot. And he goes, pretty good shot though, right?
Yeah, because he got it right in the forehead.
Right in between the eyes.
Oh, God.
Yo, it's really good.
It's a good movie so far.
Oh, my God, it's great. So he goes out the room. Mm-hmm. Zed and Kay talk, and Zed's like, he's got a real problem with authority. And Tommy Lee Jones is like, yeah, so do I. But this kid chased down a cephalopod on foot. That's got to be tough enough. And he's like, I hope you know what you're doing, Tommy Lee Jones.
Who plays Zed?
A famous dude that you'd recognize. I can't think of his name. A white dude, you'd be like, him.
That would be a great name for this podcast. It's just a famous dude you recognize.
Yep. And just like the woman who's Edgar's wife, right when you see her, you're like, oh, her.
Okay.
Everybody in the movie's pretty famous.
Okay.
It's one of those.
Well, Monk's in it.
Monk's, I'm pretty sure it's Monk.
Everyone knows
And if
Monk.
it's not Monk, if it ain't Monk, it's a nigga that looks just like Monk.
Yeah. All right.
So everybody else, Zed walks back in the room and he's like, gentlemen, you've all done a great job. We have one more test to administer, an eye exam. And he walks out the room and everybody walks out and then the Jay character's last and Tommy Lee Jones is waiting for him on the wall. Mm-hmm. And so right as he walks out, Jay, he looks over and he's like, hey, man. He remembers him. Like, oh, you're the dude from the lunch yesterday. And he's like, what the hell am I doing here? And he starts just explaining to him what the whole thing is. And he's like, so back in 1957, humans made first contact with an alien life form and blah, blah, blah. And then as they're walking by a room and it's Zed going, on everybody, if you can just look right here. Zoom, and he flashes everybody who was just doing the test with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He sees that. And you can tell he's just like, what the fuck? You know?
Right.
And he keeps walking. And then the guy, Tommy Lee Jones tells him how, they were back when when they first made contact with aliens, Men in Black was like a small agency, and how it was only like 9 guys in the company. And when they first made contact, he was there apparently on accident because it was just one lost boy in the road who was on his way to a date. And it was Tommy Lee Jones. And,
Okay.
and then he goes, oh, you gave that nice tall man some flowers, because it's a picture of Tommy Lee Jones giving the alien flowers.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And then, so, and you can tell Will Smith's like kind of not believing the shit he's telling him. And so he's telling him all this. And he's like, so now aliens like live amongst us in secret, and and that's what it is. And then Will Smith goes, oh, okay, cool. So when is the last time you had a CAT scan? And then Tommy Lee Jones is like, oh, last month. The company required every 6 months. You know what I mean?
Oh, damn.
Like he said it real casual.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay. He's like, you know what? I think I'm ready to go. He's like, oh, okay. You sure you don't want to think about it? He's like, no, I'm ready to go. He's like, I'm gonna get some coffee. You want some coffee? He's like, no, just the door. He goes, okay. And then he opens the door to get coffee, and then there's like 6 little aliens in there.
Right.
And they all speak the same language, and they speak this funny, like, New York language. They're like, hey, Kwanzaa! Like, they speak like that.
Yeah, okay.
Like, hey, pasase, like, it's almost this weird, like, language, like, Puerto Rican kind of thing.
Okay, who also speaks Spanish. So you just have problems with the Spanish language.
I think I do.
Yeah. Yeah, but I get you what you're saying. They're like this stereotype. There's this New York stereotype of an alien.
And he, of course, the Will Smith character, he sees this, and then the Tommy Lee Jones, he's just talking to him, and they're like in there smoking and chilling. Right. And he's like, how you guys been? And he's like, we've been okay, and he's like, all right, don't work too hard, fellas. Right. And they're like, all right, okay, and he's like, all right. And he goes, all right, you want to take it to the door? And Will Smith character's just kind of looking at him like, what the, you know what I mean? So the next shot, they're in a park, right? And he's telling them what the deal is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, look, kids, so this is what happens. So aliens live here among us. Our job is to keep the peace, make sure, people don't know and people don't freak out. And then Will Smith character is like, well, how come you can't just tell people? Like, people are smart. He's like, people are smart. They can handle it. He goes, a person is smart. People are dumb and react like with chaos and don't know how to handle things.
That's a good point.
And he goes, 1,500 years ago, everyone knew the earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everyone knew the earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that we were the only people on earth. Imagine what you'll know tomorrow. It's dope line, nigga. And then the Will Smith character's like, he goes, but what's the catch? And he's like, oh, the catch? The catch is no one will ever know you ever existed in life, ever. And then the Tommy Lee Jones guy kind of walks away. He's like, I'll give you a day to think about it. And then he yells, he goes, is it worth it? And he goes, yeah, it's worth it if you're strong enough. And then he walks away. And then the Will Smith character literally thinks about it the entire day on the bench. Like, they show him thinking whole day.
The psychological fucking fuckery in the movie is crazy.
Yeah, like they show him on a park bench he doesn't move. He just sits there, and it goes from morning all the way to night. You know what I mean? Afternoon and night, he's just sitting there looking on the wall, thinking about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the next day, he shows up to the MIB thing. It's the morning time.
Right.
And he's in a bright yellow, like 90s, the most ridiculous outfit you've ever seen, dude. It's so funny looking. It's just like, so like, what?
Yeah. What? You thought the Men in Black would wear yellow type shit? Like,
but also just like, I can't believe that was normal back then. He looks normal for the 90s.
Okay, he looks
but
like
it's just
90s.
like, we're looking at it now, like, what the fuck?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So he gets in the elevator, and Tommy Lee Jones is already waiting on him, and he goes, hey, what's going on? And he goes, all right, first things first. He's like, I'm gonna give you the run. He's like, I gotta lay down some ground rules. Or he's like, don't forget, you chose me, so recognize the skills. All right, I don't know nobody calling me boy or sport or tiger or any of that shit. Okay, he's like, I'm a man, I know what I'm doing. He goes, all right, slick. I'm not gonna be calling you anything. He said, but let me tell you something about your skills. And then another door opens, and they're like in a terminal for aliens. Imagine like an airport terminal, but aliens.
Okay.
So it's humongous. It's like motherfucking LAX.
Okay.
But all aliens.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so he's like, your skills mean absolutely dick. And so they start walking through the airport, and Will's just like, he's looking at all the aliens. He goes up to touch one, and then he's like, oh, don't touch him. Don't touch him. He's like, that guy just, he said like he's been on a delay for like 1,300 years. He's like, imagine if your plane got delayed 1,300 years. You'd be a little pissed off too. He's like, the guy's a little cranky. And it's just like a glob. You can't tell. Yeah. It's just a glob. And so they keep walking, and he's like, who are you guys funded by? How does the government fund this? And he's like, oh, we're not funded by the government. We have a couple patents on things. Velcro, PlayStation. And he goes, okay. And then he keeps showing them the other cool things, and he's looking at this like glowy ball, Will Smith. And then he like, finally he's like, hey, Kay, what's this? And he touches it, and it just starts bouncing like flubber. Like a flubber. It's literally flubber.
It's flubber.
And there's Will Smith just like yelling for 2 minutes, like, oh shit, oh, watch out, hey, oh my God, oh no, I'm gonna pay for that. Just like a bunch of those like lines.
Yeah.
And it's just bouncing around, and then eventually, like Tommy Lee Jones catches it. He's like, this little thing caused the 1990 blackout in New York. So you gotta be careful about this. And then Will Smith like walks through everybody. He goes, I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry, y'all, because people are looking at him. He has such an attitude about it. I said I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah.
My bad. All right. Like he says really good. And so he takes them over to like this big panel, and it's these two aliens sitting on it with a bunch of computer screens. And he goes, these are the twins, Budak and Bob. One of the best jokes in the movie. One of the best jokes in the fucking movie, dog. These are the twins, Budak and Bob.
These are quality jokes.
Oh, dude.
These are quality jokes.
One of the best jokes in the whole goddamn movie, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, these are monitors. We monitor every alien that's on Earth. And then Will goes, oh, my God, this all makes so much sense. He's like, no, when I was in second grade, I knew that my second grade teacher had to be from Venus or something. And then he goes, actually one of the moons. And then it's like a zoom in on a teacher, and he's like, class, if you don't pay attention. And it's like, she's like clearly like a crazy lady.
Yeah.
And then it shows like a bunch of other people on the wall, and it's like famous people. It's like Sylvester Stallone's the alien, and like
That's
these
funny.
random like people like that.
So
You
they
know
are
what I mean?
tracking the aliens.
They're tracking every alien that's on Earth.
Okay.
If you're on Earth and you're an alien, then you have to go through MIB. It's like customs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
MIB is customs for aliens.
Okay. I
That's
get
what
it now.
and that's why it's a peaceful organization. They keep peace. You know what I mean?
I get it now.
So he walks up to him, Zed, and he goes, Edwards, it's time to put it on. And he goes, what? The last suit you'll ever wear. And then it's like a cool montage of them like erasing, like while Zed does like a montage, like a voiceover of talking about like what the MIB is.
Right.
You know, like you're an anemone. You know, you're a figment of imagination, things like that. And he's like getting like his fingertips erased. And like as he's getting his fingertips erased, he goes like, so like he goes, it just heats up, and you can tell he doesn't expect it, and he just starts screaming, like screaming, and it like erases his fingertips, and then they fucking take all of they erase his social security, his paperwork, any known existence of him, and then they're like telling him like, you know, you're no longer a part of the system, you're above it, beyond it. You know, you are them, you are they, you are the men in black. And then he walks out and he goes, you know what the difference is between you and me? And he puts on the glasses. I make this look good. It's one of the best lines in the movie.
Good
Dude,
line.
Will Smith, man.
Dude, he's killing it right now. He's killing me.
Yeah. So they cut to, and it's the alien Edgar, right? And he's following this dude in a jewelry store.
Right.
And he's like holding a cat, and you don't know what's going on. But that's what he's doing. He's following a guy in a jewelry store. He's also clearly struggling to stay fit into the Edgar bodysuit.
Right.
Like he just looks
Edgar,
ridiculous.
yeah,
He looks much worse than he did it before.
Okay.
So the next scene, Kay and Jay are in Zed's office, and he tells Kay, he's like, hey, you need to pay attention to we got a lot of aliens coming in, you need to pay attention to it. We're not hosting an intergalactic kegger down here. And then he goes like, they're talking, and then an alarm goes off, and it's like, oh, we got a alien trying to, escape from a zone. We don't, like unauthorized. We got to figure that out. And he goes, take Junior here with you. This is a good one for him to warm up on. And he looks at him, he's like, go get him, Tiger. And then Will Smith walks out, and he looks at Tommy Lee Jones, and he's like, we're not hosting an intergalactic kegger. Zed.
I love this always having an attitude about everything.
Everything.
It's a good
He's
character
so mad about every little thing.
That's a good character trait.
So he takes him to this like car, and he's like, and Will Smith immediately starts shitting on the car. He's like, all the money in the world, we're driving a Ford POS, And he goes, put your seatbelt on. And he goes, man, we need to work on your people skills. And he's like, put your seatbelt on, please. And he's like, that's better. You see, and then he pulls off like really fast, and like Will Smith like hits the thing, and he almost hits a little red button. He goes, whoa, kid, don't touch the little red button. See the little red button? Never ever hit the little red button.
Oh man, that red button's gonna get hit at some point.
At some point.
I love it.
I wonder what it does.
Yeah. Oh man. Probably turns into a fucking flying thing.
If I had to assume what red buttons do.
Yeah. Or it's a self-destruct button. It's very odd. One of the two in my mind.
So cut to the old jewelry guy is like at a lunch table with like another weird looking dude who clearly is an alien.
Right.
Clearly is an alien.
Okay.
And they're talking in this alien voice about like planets and galaxies and alien shit, right?
Right.
And they order food.
Just alien things.
No, alien things.
It's a good Tumblr account. Just
and the cat's
things.
there, and the waiter, like somebody brings up their food is ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the waiter who goes to get their food, it's Edgar. It's the Edgar guy. And then you see it like they show under him is like the actual waiter, and his body is completely folded in half, like in a cabinet. It's a lot of murder in this movie. I never noticed how much, but it's a lot of murder in this movie. So his body's folded up in a cabinet. The dude, Edgar guy, comes out, and they and like he sets their food down. And as he sets their food down, like a bunch of cockroaches fall out of his sleeves.
Right.
And then they look up and they notice him immediately, and then they go, no matter what no matter if you kill us, you will never get the galaxy or something like that. And then he goes, oh yeah, and then he kills him. The Vincent D'Onofrio dude, he kills him immediately, like stabs them both in the neck, and then he grabs this little box of jewels that were on the table. But I got to mention beforehand, one of the aliens dude said, hey, like when they were talking about alien stuff, he said, hey, is that the galaxy on the table? And he goes, oh, no, these are just diamonds for children. It's a line in the movie.
Okay.
So these are diamonds for children. And so the Edgar guy grabs it thinking it's the galaxy, okay?
Okay.
And he storms out of the table, out of the place.
Right.
Like after the murders.
So the galaxy is something that can be held small in a small thing.
Yeah.
All
So they cut to, and K and J are now pulling over that guy that was trying to escape Earth. Remember the guy that was trying to, he's like, take Junior here.
Right.
So, and he's like, license and registration, please. K's like, license, and the guy gives him his license and registration, and he goes, your other license and registration. And the guy, and then like he pulls out like this other thing, like, like this alien, clearly like alien card.
Right.
And then he goes, where were you going, Reg? And then the Reggie guy's like, my wife, well, and then the camera pans back, and it's like his wife just clearly in labor. Like, clearly in labor. Like, doing the whole thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
just like right there, the guy's unnoticing it when they pull. Yeah.
And then he goes, oh boy, okay. He goes, step out the car, Reg. He's like, Jay, you handle that. And then he's like, K. He goes, don't worry, you got it. And then he goes over and he's like, oh shit. And then you see like tentacles start popping out of her like legs, you know?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh shit, K. And then he's like talking to the Reggie guy. And then so as you see him talking to the Reggie guy, you see these huge tentacles grab Will Smith
and just shake him
start
around,
beating this nigga, like just start throwing him all over the place. You know what I mean?
That's
and then
funny.
finally, like a baby shoots out, and then and he catches it, and he's holding it, and then he goes, and like the Reggie guy runs up, and K runs up, and they go, oh, and he goes like, it's a squid. You know, and then Will's like, "Oh, it's kind of cute." And then right as he says that, it throws up on his face. A very good comedy, like
right,
fun, campy stuff.
Right.
So, he gets they get back in the car, and they find like he's cleaning off all the shit, Will Smith, and then Tommy Lee Jones is like, I don't believe it. I don't believe the story. I don't believe that's why he was leaving.
Ooh, you think something's up?
You think something's up. He's like, oh, we need to go he's like, we got to check the hot sheets on this one.
Right.
And then they cut to it, and then they're checking the tabloids.
Okay.
And then Will Smith's like, the hot sheets of the tabloids?
What?
He's like, why aren't you checking the New York Times or the Post? He's like, occasionally the Times or the Post gets it right. He's like, no, but you want to find aliens, you check the tabloid.
That's
and then
interesting.
immediately he throws the magazine down, and he goes, how you gonna? He's like, how do you think you're gonna find aliens in the tabloids? He says, not find, found. And he throws down the magazine, and it says, woman claims husband was eaten by alien, and now alien is wearing skin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he was like, "Oh, that's our."
Okay, that's what something. So this guy is connected to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
They think the guy leaving is connected to this guy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they show up to Edgar's house to speak to his wife about what happened.
Right.
And like they walk in, and she makes them like lemonade and stuff, and they're talking to him. And it's really funny because she gives him the lemonade, and Will Smith's like listening to her, and he takes a sip, and he's
it's
looks
terrible
around,
lemonade.
and then he slowly like spits it. It's a really quick scene, but it's one of my favorites. Man. It's so funny.
It's good. Good physical comedy.
Yeah, she's telling him how she tells him what happened and how she was like, I was like, someone was wearing Edgar. It was like an Edgar suit, And then he goes, what else happened? And he goes, he asked for sugar water, like a lot of sugar water. And then you can tell Kay realizes something, and then he tells Jay to put on the glasses. And he puts on the glasses, and then he asks him, ma'am, can you look right into this? And he neuralizes her. And then he's like, Jay's like, what did you just do? And then he explains to him like what it is. He's like, I erased your memory, whoop, whoop. And then he tells her like, all right, ma'am, you didn't see an alien. It was a gas that hit a truck, and that's all it was. And then he goes, so you gave her a new memory? And then he's like, yeah. He goes, and that's the best bullshit ass memory you can give her? He goes, on a lighter note, your husband Edgar left you, but it's okay. You're gonna go stay with your sister for a while, and you'll be fine. And then Will Smith goes, yeah, and you didn't even want him anyway because you don't even like him. And you know what? You left him. And you know what? You're gonna get you an interior decorator. You'll come in here, you get you some nice dresses, and you get some nice dresses from Bloomingdale's, and we gonna get you an interior decorator here because, damn.
Yeah. I like that.
He goes outside and he goes, hey, Kay, when do I get my memory flashy wipey thingy? And then he's like, when you grow up. And he's like, flicks him off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he he like goes outside to where the hole was and he clips up the dirt,
Mhm.
you know, and this like weird alien thing. And he's like, oh, and it goes green. He goes, oh, green, not good. We got a bug. And he goes, bugs are bad. And he's like, are bugs bad? Will Smith character is like, are bugs bad? And Tommy Lee Jones like, he says like a really crazy science thing. He's like, do you know what that means if cephalopods meet something in a dirt whoop de whoop? And he goes, oh shit, that was on Final Jeopardy last night.
Tommy Lee Jones says whoop de whoop.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones did say, he pretty much said whoop de whoop.
Whoop de whoop. All right.
Whoop de, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I can see he seems like a whoop de whoop guy. All right.
So they figure out, they're like, all right, we, you know, if somebody's in a hot new Egger suit and it's a big cockroach, he's killing people, because they figured out that they're like, we need to check the morgues.
Right.
And so they cut to the morgues, and the lady from the beginning of the movie who whispered in Will Smith's ear,
Yeah.
she's the one working the morgues.
Oh, she's back.
And so a guy comes in with the dead bodies, and he goes, oh, it's the third one. And she's like, oh, all 3 dead bodies, you know, the folded up guy and the 2 alien guys.
Right.
Know? And then he's like, yeah. And she goes, oh, what about this cat? And she goes, oh, it's an interesting thing about the cat. He's like, interesting problem with the cat. And she goes, oh, what's the problem with the cat? And he goes, it's your problem. And then he walks out, and she's like, oh, I hate the living. And she said like that too. I hate the living.
Is she hot?
Yeah. She's
Okay.
hot.
All
I
right.
forget who she is,
All right.
but she's hot.
All right. That's good. I need to visualize now.
Yeah. So J and K show up, and they show up and they tell her like, you know, like, hey, we're with, you know, Sector 7 or some shit like that,
Right.
FBI, and we need to see the bodies that just came in.
Mhm.
And so K goes and looks at one, and he tells like Will Smith to go off with her to look at one.
Right.
And so they go off and they reach in, and then they're kind of flirting.
Okay.
Kind of flirting a little bit. Not
Right.
much, but like she's throwing like flirty vibes and like saying like, you know, she's telling him how she thinks the
Epic
bodies.
burp.
Nice. Right? She's telling him how she thinks the bodies are kind of weird, and do you notice anything wrong when they got here? And then he reaches his hand in, and you can tell he's like disgusted because he's not usually dealt with this.
Right.
And he's like, oh no, everything seems normal to me. And she goes, all of his organs are missing. And he goes, yeah, I mean, everything seems normal. Like none of the organs are here because they're all intact somewhere else. They're not like in here in shards. So that's normal. You know what I mean? And she goes, okay.
Yeah.
And then she goes, you know what I like to do when I'm in here by myself?
Oh.
And he goes, what? And then he goes, Jay, come over here. Like what Tommy Lee Jones calls him over. And he comes over and he goes, so what do you think? And he goes, oh man, she's got a real kind of, you know, undead living, you know, goth thing going on. He goes, no, the body. He goes, oh, great body. No, the dead body. He's like, oh man, you have to go look at that. I don't know what that shit is.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, so she calls him back over. She's like, Jay, come over. And then the Will Smith character, he goes back over, and then she pushes a button on his ear.
Mhm.
She look at this, and then his face comes off,
Mhm.
and it's like a itty bitty little alien inside his head. And the alien's like struggling for air, and he goes, war is coming, you know? And he goes, to prevent war. And then they're like, what? To prevent war, what? And he's like, the galaxy is on Orion's. And they're like,
Oh,
back.
I don't get it.
And he goes, belt. And they get it at the end.
Okay,
He goes,
they didn't get it.
belt. And then he dies. The little
Okay.
alien dies. So of course the doctor's looking at her like, what is this? And then he goes, Kay. He like they had fake names and he can't remember his fake name. And then she's like, you guys aren't with the FBI. And he's like, calls him over anyways. You gotta look at this. And then he goes, oh no. And then he recognizes that he's like a Prince Archilian from some galaxy, but he's
Right.
like a prince, you know?
Oh,
And
shit.
it's like, oh, they're not gonna be happy about this. And then she goes, I knew that the aliens were real, and I knew you guys were with the FBI. And then he goes, oh ma'am, can you look at this? And then he flashes things really quick, obviously. You know what I mean?
She's just getting it.
And then so Will Smith is like, he tells him, he's like, oh, he said to prevent war, the galaxy's on Orion's belt or something like that, right? And then he goes, right? And then she's like looking at him like this. He goes, oh, you flashy thing there already, man. God damn, I wanted you, like she heard everything he said. And he goes, oh, okay, don't worry about it. And then she comes to it, she goes, hey, who are you gentlemen? I'm gonna need ideas. What is that? And she sees it and he goes, oh man, look at her. And he flashes her again. And Will Smith like didn't even have his glasses on. He's like, hey man, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's like, and then he asks him, he goes, how many times can you flash thing somebody? And he's like, oh, as many times. I've never heard anything wrong with it. And he goes, have you ever flashed anything to me? He goes, no. Kay, I'm not playing, man. You ever flashed anything to me? No. Kay, have you ever flashed anything to me? Like they argue out the whole time.
Right.
And then they go outside and he goes, hey man, I think I should be in charge of the flashy things department, man. You going crazy. And then the guys come in and he tells them like, all right, you got to go inside and we got 2 dead bodies you got to get rid of and we got a doctor in there who needs a new memory. And then Will Smith looks at him and he's like, make it a happy memory. It's probably Tommy Lee Jones' best line of the movie.
Yeah.
So the next scene is like the Edgar dude. He's trying to open the diamonds that he stole, and he can't.
Okay.
And he finally opens them up, and he realizes that they're just diamonds, and it's not the galaxy thing.
Okay, so now he gets angry.
Where is it?
Right,
he's going crazy. So K and J, they go back to the headquarters, right? And Jay goes off to talk to Zed about the Orion's Belt thing, and then K goes and immediately looks up a woman, the woman that he was going on the date with back when.
Okay.
Remember, like his past life. You know what I mean? He was going on a date with a lady that night, and then he just disappeared forever.
He's still all about that.
You know what I mean? So he's like zooming in on her, like right. He finds her, and he's just zooming in. And then Jay, he walks over and he notices. He's like, "Oh, you gotta like who's got a soft spot?" You know. And then he gets out of it, and he's like, "Oh, so that's who you were going to get flowers for?" And he goes like, "Oh, is she married?" And he's like, "Nope, she didn't get married." He's like, "Well, you know what they say: better to love than lost than never loved at all." And he looks at him. He's like, "You try that shit." And then he walks away.
Yeah.
Right. And they walk up to Zed, and they tell Zed about the Orion's Belt thing, and that the Archelians are
dead.
One of the Archelian princes is dead.
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh shit!" So they start checking because they noticed that a bunch of aliens. They're like, "Oh wow!" Right when he died, a bunch of aliens left Earth, immediately fled Earth, and he's like, "What's going on?" So they start checking all their outside shots of Earth, and then one of them, like an Archelian a battle cruiser, is right outside of Earth, and they go, "Oh shit!" You know?
Yeah.
They're just looking at it
shit, something's happening.
This is not good.
Yeah.
You know? And he goes, "Give the kid a weapon," because he's like, "Oh, we're about to get into war." And so they go to the big gun room, and he holds up a big gun. He's like, "This is an 1815 dynamic neuralizer. Shoots 1,800 rounds per second, and blah blah blah." And he's like, "All right, that's what I'm talking about." This, and then he hands up this itty bitty water squirt gun. He's like, "Noisy cricket." And he hands up and Will Smith's like, "Hey man, what am I supposed to do with this, man? I'm gonna break this thing, right?"
Yeah.
And so they cut to the next scene is it's Edgar.
Mm-hmm.
Edgar suit guy.
Yeah, Edgar suit guy.
And he's breaking into the jewelry store from the beginning.
Okay.
He's breaking in, and he's bashing everything, and he's looking around, and he's looking for...
So the galaxy is in some kind of diamond.
He thinks. He doesn't know what it is, because he thought it was in that, but now he doesn't know, because he killed the two dudes already.
Okay, is Orion's belt like some kind of necklace?
So he's looking everywhere for it, and then he looks up, and he notices the picture of the cat. And he remembers, like, oh shit, the cat was with the dude in the restaurant.
Right.
Maybe it's on the cat.
Okay.
So Edgar and he looks outside. He notices his Zappum truck with his spaceship's getting towed. So he runs out and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the guy's like, "Can't park here." And then he goes and he gets his gun out of his truck and he's like, "Put it back now." And then the guy pulls out a huge gun. He's like, "Please." And he puts his gun back. And then J and K eventually, you see them pull up and they walk into the jewelry store and they're like, "Who robs a jewelry store? Who breaks into a jewelry store but doesn't steal any jewelry?" And then they hear a gunshot outside. And then they rush out and then they see the Edgar suit guy getting in the tow truck. Right. And then Jay's like, "Hey, it's him. And he pulls out his little noisy cricket and he tries to shoot. And it's the most comical big blast you've ever seen in your entire life. It's like he shot a goddamn bazooka. You know what I mean? It's like the biggest, and it blasts him through the back of the store.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
crazy.
Funny. That's
and
funny.
It knocks the Zappum truck off the tow truck,
right.
And then he chases down the street again, and he hits it. He shoots again, and he misses him, and he hits something else, right?
Right.
And it just causes mayhem in the street, clearly, and it blasts him through a windshield this time,
right?
And then Kay comes up, and he's like, "Hey, we don't fire our arms our guns in public. That's not what we do." And he's like, "We don't have time for this secrecy bullshit, Kay." He's like, "An alien is trying to destroy Earth, and there's a battleship outside right now." And he's like, "There's always an alien trying to destroy Earth and a battleship outside. It's our job to make sure the people living here don't know about it." And he's like, "Oh." I forgot that this is the everyday job. There's always gonna be an alien trying to blow up Earth every day. That's my job.
That's
I'm Men in Black now.
That's so crazy. Oh,
so,
man.
And then he goes, "Besides, he isn't going anywhere. We got his ship." So they go, they're like, Kay's like, "Man, we need help. I don't know what we're going to do. We got to find out what's going on." He's like, "We got to find somebody with intergalactic years of experience. I know who to go to." And so they drive to a New York kiosk, and there's this weird old looking dude. And he's like, "Oh my God, that's not even a hell of a costume." And then the guy goes, "What are you talking about?" And they pan to, and it's the dog, Frank the Pug.
Oh, that's where Frank comes in.
That's where Frank the Pug comes in.
That's where Frank comes
in. And Frank
the
Pug's and then Tommy Lee Jones immediately grabs him and just starts shaking him.
Yeah.
And shaking him in public.
That's so funny. That's so do people actually see him shoot the noisy cricket Like, are there people on the street, or he just kind of gets away with it?
No,
He
there
got
were a bunch of
lucky.
people on the street, but a team comes in and neuralizes everybody.
So whole team.
You don't
neuralized
see that.
people.
Like while they're talking, a team behind the scene, you see like neuralizing.
Okay. So it's so he caused a ruckus.
He caused a ruckus.
He rucked it up.
And they clean it up real
Okay.
quick, like immediately,
Okay.
like right as it happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, so they're on top of it.
Oh, of course. Men in Black.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
They on PlayStation.
Okay.
A lot of money.
on PlayStation. And one more thing I forgot. You said
Velcro. That would be a lot of money.
Yeah, especially in the 90s. I guess the 90s had Velcro. Did the 90s have Velcro?
Yeah.
Like a lot of Velcro? Like,
I'm assuming everything had Velcro.
okay. Anyways, what happens next?
So the dog, like he's shaking the dog, and the dog tells him everything that the galaxy has everlasting power, and the Archelians need it because they know he knows if the cockroach gets it, he's gonna use it to kill.
So the galaxy is just still this kind of like thing that no one really knows. That
And it's also where the Archelians, like, it's their galaxy.
Okay, so they have their galaxy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of those kind of it's that kind of cool thing.
Okay.
It's space war, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, if
That'd be funny if this was the one thing I couldn't buy. If this is where I drew the line, if I was like, I don't know, man.
that's not real.
Yeah.
So like he's saying, like the Archelians have the galaxy, if the bug gets the galaxy,
Yes.
they're gonna kill. Like he knows because he wants war against the Archelians. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So the Archelians, like, they need the galaxy immediately.
Right away.
And then he goes, but if we're on Earth, how's the galaxy on Earth? And he's like, how are we gonna find, like, how's the galaxy on Earth? And he goes, oh, you humans, just because it's a galaxy doesn't mean it has to be big. It can be a small thing, And that's when Jay looks up and he remembers, oh, the cat. The cat's been around the whole time. It's got to be on the cat, possibly,
Right.
So, back of the morgue, the doctor is rubbing the cat. Like, they cut back to she's rubbing the cat, and she's noticing, she's like, oh, your name's Orion. And she's looking at his little belt on his tag. And it says Orion on his tag, and she's petting him. And then she looks into the little ball on his tag, and then you can see an entire like she gets lost because it's an entire galaxy in there.
In his
In the
collar.
little collar. And you can
Okay,
see
so
it
on a
in-
cat's necklace.
It's on the cat's. It's a little
Oh, so
ball.
I nailed
and
that.
it's in the entire galaxy.
Oh shit.
It's pretty cool. Like you can, like, she sees it and she's just like,
Oh,
like, it's lost. And,
yeah.
like, she notices it. And so right as that happens, Edgar comes into the morgue,
Mhm.
and he starts hitting the, like, ding, 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 ding.
Mhm.
And her assistant comes out. Her assistant, David Cross.
Really? Really?
David Cross is in this movie, dog, for a sec. Cameo, small cameo, but he's in this shit.
Oh, did he get murdered?
Oh, come on. So
Yeah, he's about to- David
so
Cross
he
has
comes out.
murdered face.
He comes out. He comes out, and like the Edgar dude's like I came in. My friend died the other day. He came in with a cat. I gave him the cat as a gift. I was wondering if I could get it back. That's how he talks. And so he's like, David Cross character like kills a fly. And he's like, we're going to need proof of ownership and blah, blah, blah. And then he kills like another fly. And then the Edgar's like, don't do that. And then a bunch of like cockroaches come out of his sleeves.
Yeah.
And then the David Cross like character freaks out and he goes under and he grabs like some Raid cans. And he's about to spray. And then he looks up and then the fucking Edgar mouth opens up and it's like, you see like teeth and like fucking, like a fucking pincher things coming out of his mouth,
And he just.
You don't know. So then you see J and K, they pull up.
Oh shit. Okay. So
You
some
don't see-
fucked
you
up
don't- yeah,
shit's
you
about to
don't-
happen.
yeah. They pull up, and
Mhm.
then Jay goes, hey, man, why don't you let me go in there and handle this one this time?
Mhm.
And he goes like, no. Kay's like, no, I don't want that. He goes, no, man, every time we go in there, you freaking see this girl, man. He's like, you're going to give her leukemia or some shit. You keep flashing thing at her,
Yeah.
He goes, she's amazing. He goes, she went to med school, man. You're about to fucking zap away half of her medical degree.
Mm.
He's like, you
Good
can't keep zapping her like that,
Yeah. Good line.
And he goes, all right, 2 minutes. And Jay goes, all right, cool. So he goes in and he sees her, and the Edgar guy has her by like the leg, and he's hiding under a table, and she's clearly like this. And he goes, hey, what up, girl? And he says like your fake name. He's like, I'm such and such. And she was like, hi, she's like, I really have something to show you. And then he goes, oh, slow down, girl. All right, take it slow. He's like, he just thinks it's more flirting. 'Cause he's Will
He's dumb.
Smith.
And he forgets that she forgot the whole pre-flirt conversation.
Just no idea that existed.
Yeah.
So he's like, she's telling him, she's like, no, I really have something to show you. And he's like, oh, no, baby, we gonna get to that. She's like, I think maybe I should leave with you. He's like, cool. But one thing, I gotta drive. It's not a man thing. I just gotta drive. It's like, he's just talking about nonsense at this
Right.
point. And she's just like looking at him like, oh my God,
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you see, cut to you see the Tommy Lee Jones character. He's lighting a cigarette like outside, and as he's lighting it, like gook keeps falling from the ceiling, and then he looks up, and it's the David Cross character, and he's like stuck to the ceiling, just dead, just covered in like gook.
God, so much murder.
So much, bro. This
So
motherfucker's
much
on a rampage.
goddamn murder.
So they cut to Tommy. He starts trying to run into the room,
Yeah.
and then she goes, "No, really, I have something for like you to see." You know, and then the Will Smith character is kind of looking at her like, and he finally gets it, and right then the angry guy flips over the table and like he gets her in like a chokehold and like holds his gun like a gun to her, you know, and then he's like, oh, why did you say there was an alien under there? She was like, I was. She's like, what'd you think I was doing? He's like, I thought you were coming on to me like some drunk floozy. And she goes, just typical men. Every time a woman puts in, and then the Vincent D'Onofrio guy's like, enough of this.
Yeah.
Enough of this harassment.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm loving the Vincent D'Onofrio voice is amazing.
Yeah, it's
a good voice.
So J and K, they pull their guns on him, right, and they're
Right.
telling him like, hey, put the girl down, we'll do. And he's like, no, I'm out of here, and he jumps like through a window with her, and like he has her
Jump
hostage.
through a window.
Yeah, like he's a strong alien.
Okay.
So he jumps through a window behind him. Like they run upstairs to chase him. He gets in he steals a cab and throws her inside.
Right.
And the reason it's he throws like out the little thing that cab drivers sit on sometimes. You know those like little
the bead stuff.
the bead stuff.
He's got the bead
throws
stuff.
that out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Will Smith, he runs out.
He slips on the bead stuff.
He sees the bead stuff and he goes, "They're in a cab." And so he goes chasing, and then Kay kind of looks at it, and then he just slowly walks to the car, like, I'm not gonna chase.
Right.
I'm old school. I know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
You know? So Jay chases him, and then finally, of course, he doesn't get him. And then eventually he pulls up and he's like, get in the car. It's like, they're not leaving this, they're not leaving the city in a cab. We'll find them. So they go back to the headquarters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they go back to the headquarters to find like the ship he's gonna use to get off Earth. And while they're doing that, the Arquillians shoot like a warning shot.
Past Earth.
No, at Earth. And they hit us like in the caps, like in the top part.
Right.
To like melt our like ice caps.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they go, and then they give us a week. They go give us an Arquillian week to give the galaxy or else. And then Jay's like, well, what's a week? What's an Arquillian week? And he's like, 1 hour.
Man, this is high stakes shit.
Oh yeah, dude. Very
crazy.
Yeah. So they're going back and forth, Zed and Kay, about like how he's gonna get off, and they're like, oh, maybe he's gonna use this ship, maybe he's gonna use this ship, and then Jay's looking at these like two little saucers, these two buildings that are in New York. I don't know what buildings they are.
Right.
And he's like, hey, hey, old guys, and then they look at him, and he's like, maybe he's gonna use these, and then they look and it's like, oh, and like they hit, and then right as he's saying that, like Edgar and the girl, they pull up to those towers in real life,
right?
And he's like, you're coming with me. It's a long trip. I'm gonna need a snack. And she's like, no,
God.
And he grabs her and he takes her up.
So gross.
So Jay and Kay, they hop in the cars and they start speeding toward the buildings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they take the tunnel. And then Jay's like, why would you take the tunnel? The tunnel's gonna be packed. And he's like, put on your seatbelt, kid. And he's like, wow, you shouldn't have took the tunnel. And he's like, hey, you know the little red button? Push the little red button. And he starts flying through the traffic and he's like, Kay. And he pushes the little red button and then the car turns into a flying rocket ship and goes upside down. And his seatbelt is still on, so Jay is now bouncing around.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Kay's like, you like Elvis? And he cuts on Elvis. He's like, it's pretty much the same.
It's the same song from Kill Bill. Oh God!
That's
What's the
pretty much
Spanish version of that song?
So like they're flying around, and then they get through the tunnel and they land, and then he's like, Elvis is dead, right? And he's like, no, Elvis ain't dead. He just went home. And then he flicks the quarter out the window and it like lands in the toll booth thing because he's just cool as shit.
Right.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones is badass.
The whole movie, man, just cool as fuck.
They're both
shit.
really cool.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Edgar's climbs up the ship, towards the ship, and he's carrying the doctor, and she's like begging for her life, and she's like, I'm a queen on this planet. You can't kill me. Like, if you kill me, it'll start a war. And he's like, war's good. More food for my family. I gotta feed all 7 billion of them. And she's like, oh no, but maybe that may be so, but I'm not going. And she hits him hard enough, and then he like drops her.
Right.
And he's like, she lands in a tree, and he's just like, whatever. And he climbs into the ship and he takes off.
Right. This is the shipbuilding ship thing.
Oh yeah. And so J and K, they finally pull up, and then he gives them a real big gun this time, right? And he goes, roaches check in. And he looks at Jay and he goes, they don't check out. Right?
Yeah.
And they run up to like get like a good shot.
So he's flying these buildings.
No, he's flying. It's a flying saucer.
Right, but it's like disguised as buildings.
It's disguised as a building.
So as far as people on the street, these build. So,
it looks like a building. It's like a building you've seen your whole life.
Now
is flying.
Okay, fine. Okay, all right. So what happens next?
So he's flying away, and he gets over Met Stadium, and like it literally shows like a guy hits like a ball, like a pop up to outfield,
right.
And the guy looks up, and then the outfielder like gets hit in the head because he's just looking at the spaceship,
right?
Like in all. And so Tommy Lee Jones and Jay, they finally, him and Will Smith, they get a good spot, and he goes, all right, and he says like some real crazy elaborate thing. He's like, all right, we're gonna shoot the intro capacitors and make sure you aim for something, and Jay's like, what? And he goes, just shoot the ship on the count of 3.
Right.
He's like, all right, 1, 2, 3, and they shoot it, and they shoot it down, and it fucking hits. It gets hit twice, right? It explodes, and then it starts crashing down to Earth, and it crashes right in front of them and starts like speeding towards them.
Right.
And then like they're looking at it, and like Tommy Lee Jones is like looking at it like confidently. And like first Will Smith is too.
Yeah.
And then slowly he starts breaking.
Out.
And he starts like because he's like he goes.
He just looks at Tommy Lee. Oh yeah. Like, hey, are you gonna
move?
Does
a couple of those,
like, hey, we should get out of here.
And then it comes like right up to him, and then it stops.
Yeah, and Will Smith is freaking out.
No, it keeps the cat, and then it opens up, and then you hear like, "Oh, you idiots! Oh God!" And then Will Smith's like, "Hey, you going to jail, sucker? So put your hands on your head." Like he says something like that, and he one of the funniest lines. Mr. D'Onofrio goes, "Oh, you want me to put my hands on my head?" Just like. He go, oh, okay. And then he rips the Edgar suit off, and a 20-foot motherfucking cockroach comes out.
Oh, jeez.
Like, huge.
Right.
Huge cockroach.
Big roach.
And it comes out, and it eats their guns immediately. Like, immediately eats their guns.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then, and like knocks them back. And then Tommy Lee Jones is like, whatever you do, keep him on this island.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, what? He's like, keep him on Earth. And he goes, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to get my gun back. And then he walks up and he goes, hey. He's like, you big, dumb, idiot insect, eat me. And then the cockroach kind of looks at him and goes, eat me. And then he eats him. He just eats Tommy Lee Jones at one bite.
Right.
And then Tommy Lee Jones, it shows him just swimming through this cockroach's body.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, he's just swimming, right?
Yeah.
And so the cockroach starts walking back towards the other ship because there's 2 of these buildings that are ships.
Right.
So he starts walking back towards the other one to get on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then now Will Smith's like, hey, where do you think you're going? And he gets a pipe and he tries to hit him with a pipe. And the roach knocks him like 20 feet away. And he goes, oh, that's it? That's all you got? And then he gets like a flame of like a tree on fire, like a flaming tree.
Right.
And he's like, and then he hits him he knocks him away again. Right. And then finally the roach, he like starts climbing like up the ladder.
Back to the ship.
And then Will Smith jumps on his tail and he flings him, and he finally flings him like off, into a dumpster.
Right.
He hits the dumpster real hard. He kind of gets knocked out, and then he wakes up when it comes to, and he notices that there's like roaches on his thing, like on his sleeve.
Right.
And he looks back at the dumpster and he kicks the dumpster, and a bunch of roaches fall down.
Right.
And then he steps on one and the cockroach stops. And he goes, was that your auntie? That's what Will Smith says. And he goes, oh, this must be your uncle, right? And then he steps on another one.
Ooh.
And then the cockroach like jumps down and he goes, oh, Big Bag Bug's got a soft spot. And then he steps on some more. He goes, see, my philosophy in life is don't start nothing, won't be nothing. And he steps on, and then finally the cockroach gets all the way down to his face. And he's like, you better ease about my face, but something bad happens to you. And then you hear Tommy Lee Jones gun cock on the inside. And he goes, too late. And then
just blows
just
up.
Explodes. And then like they're both Tommy Lee Jones and like Will Smith land like far apart, and they're covered in cockroach juice.
Right.
And Tommy Lee Jones is holding his gun, and he goes, oh, you just had to go get your gun, huh? He goes, I like this gun. You know? And then he goes, what about you? What were you doing? He was like, man, while you in there playing around, I was, I had hit him with the pipe, man, and then he hit me, and, and I ain't gonna lie, it hurt, and then I got the fire, and I was like, with the fire, he hit me again, and then Tommy Lee Jones goes, not bad for your first day, huh? And then you remember, like, oh, shit, this is his first day.
Oh, shit. I forgot this whole thing takes place in one goddamn day.
And he goes, man, he's like, this rain's like he's like 9.0 on my weird stuffometer. And he goes, oh, man, you think that's weird? You should have been back at he said, some kind of alien invasion in 1978. He goes, hell, you weren't even alive in 78. And right as he says that, the head of the cockroach comes up to bite Jay, the Will Smith character, to like, he's still alive. And then right then, it explodes again. And then they turn around and they're covered in even more juice. And they open their eyes and it's the doctor character. And she goes, interesting job you guys have. And then it cuts to, and they're back at headquarters.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's part of the team now.
Well, they're back at headquarters and he goes, hey, Kay, man, I was wondering if we didn't have to like flashy thing, homegirl, man, because she did help us with the cockroach.
Okay.
And then Tommy Lee Jones pulls out slowly and he goes, come on, Kay, man. He's like, who's she gonna tell? She only hang out with dead people. And he goes, it's not for her. It's for me. And Jay goes, what? And then he looks up and he goes, it's beautiful, aren't they? Stars. And then he's like, I never look at them anymore, but they really are beautiful. And then Jay's like, Kay, you're scaring your partner. And he goes, not my partner, kid. My replacement. And then he goes, Kay, come on, man. I can't do this without you.
No.
And he goes, you got this, kid.
But there's a Men in Black too.
No, he gives him the neuralizer.
Yeah.
And he goes, days, months, years, always face it forward. And then he's looking at him and he's like, I can't do this, man. And he goes, Jay, I just was in the stomach of an interstellar. I was in the stomach of an interstellar cockroach. Mm-hmm. That's one of 1,000 memories I don't want anymore. And he looks at him. And he goes, all right. And he faces the thing and he puts on the glasses, Will Smith. And then the Tommy Lee Jones character is like, see you around, kid. And he's like, no, you won't. And then he flashes him. And then the next scene is they're at the tabloids and a tabloid lands on the paper. And it says, it's like happy music. And it goes, after 35 years, man awakens from coma to loving wife. And it's like Tommy Lee Jones with the woman that he, from the date that he was looking at from earlier. And then it's Will Smith reading it, and he's got a smile on, and then he puts on some cool Morpheus shades, and he's wearing like a Morpheus outfit now, not like the regular Men in Black suit. It's like a total different suit now. And he looks over at his partner and it's homegirl, Dr. Laurel, and she's his partner now. She's eating a hot dog. And then she goes, hey, ambassador of some crazy planet just called, and he wants floor tickets to the Bulls-Knicks game. And then Will Smith goes, all right, we'll put a call into Rodman. He's from that planet. And she goes, Rodman? Not much of a disguise.
Is that the last line of the movie?
Of course.
Fuck yeah! Great line. All right, so.
Movie, hold on.
Okay.
Movie ends.
Okay.
Pans back. So it's pans back. You see all of New York. This is really cool. You see all of New York. Then you see the world. Then you see like all the other planets.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see the Milky Way, the galaxy. Then you see stars. Then you see everything. And it keeps panning back. And then you see like a little. It pans back to it's just like a little ball.
Oh God,
the galaxy's a little ball.
Cat.
And it was next to a bunch of other little balls. And then it keeps panning back, and you see these two humongous aliens, and they're playing like marbles. And then the movie ends. And it goes, here come the Men in Black.
It's a great song. Oh,
Galaxy
man.
Defenders. Oh
man. So they
Men in Black, everybody.
So wait, now here's my question. Is that they take these two famous buildings in New York and just crash them. So they're gone.
Well, one.
Okay, just one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I was if they took out, never mind then. I thought it was two. So it's like these two famous, what did they tell
They were
when they neuralized
one of the
people.
tabloids points out, like before the tabloid of the Tommy Lee Jones that he gets married,
Okay.
like one hits saying that like flying
Muslims
cars.
take out. That would be so
One
funny.
hit says Muslims take out.
The famous building in New York.
Again,
Well, this is 97, right? This is
well,
before
I think you guys tried to bomb it once. Or that wasn't a Muslim guy, was it?
I think it was a Muslim.
Was that a Muslim guy?
If I had to guess.
It was a white dude.
It could have been a white dude. No, we would hear about it more. Anyways, yeah, let's not go down this rabbit hole of terribleness. We were on the door of some shit there that I don't want to go down.
Oh. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. So what did the tablet say?
Oh, one said like a flying car spotted in the New York tunnel,
Mhm.
and then one said like guy says he dropped game-winning ball in ninth inning because he saw spaceship,
Oh, okay.
and then the next tabloid was the
Was-
coma one.
Okay. All right.
That's
I'll
how it
accept it.
Here comes the men in black.
I remember in 6th grade,
Galaxy
for
Defender.
PE, we had to do line dancing,
Yeah.
and that was my favorite song to line dance to.
Oh yeah, man. The reason I love this movie, I also just did this movie on a little show called Tabled
Mhm.
in San Diego.
Right.
Shout out to Tabled.
Table
Great show.
that
Ryan
used to be a
Hicks
part of it.
used to be a part of it. It's at
Yeah.
the Whistle Stop.
Yeah, great
Check
show.
it out. It's a great show.
Great show.
They do movies, and that we did this movie recently, and it was so much fun.
Mhm.
But I've been waiting to do the Vincent D'Onofrio voice.
Okay, did you play Vincent D'Onofrio?
I played
in-
Tommy Lee Jones,
Okay, who played Vincent D'Onofrio?
Stephen Gaines,
Okay.
who already talks like that.
Okay, that's funny.
He already
Yeah. Oh man,
speaks in that manner.
great show. I wish I saw that show now, but I'm excited to watch